So in this video I've got 4 multiplicity files. As you can see, that's the first one, the second one, third one, and then the fourth one. So I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to right click and then go to Edit In and choose Open as Layers in Photoshop. So click that, Photoshop opens. It stacks all the layers together, as you can see, and then I go full screen once it's done that. Okay, so individually switching the layers off so you can see what the differences are between them. I'm going to move the layers around so that I've got the closest to the camera images at the bottom of the stack. I think that just makes it easier for me. So to edit them, what I'm going to do is just zoom in so I can see what I'm doing a little bit. I'm going to choose the Polygonal Lasso tool. I'm going to cut around my first object, but then instead of deleting or inverting or doing anything else, I'm actually going to choose the Quick Mask button. So the Quick Mask button is pressed. I've got that selection. It adds a mask to the layer, which you'll see on the right hand side of the layer, and then it allows the background to show through. I'm going to do that with the other 2 layers because I don't want to do the bottom one. That's like my base layer. And now once that selection is made, I'm going to click the Quick Mask button and then it adds the mask in, and then I just want to do that for the rest of them. To make it a bit easier, I'm going to hide the top 2 layers, make my selection a little bit carefully. Don't need to go too close, you don't need to go too far, and then once I've got that selection, Quick Mask button, and bang, there we go. Now that's all I need. I only need the 3 masks on there because the bottom layer is there anyway, so the other 2 are just showing through on top of that layer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tidy up in this area. You see I've got a leg missing there, so I'm going to paint in to the mask there just to add it in, and that's showing through the layer below so that it gets my leg in there. A little bit of a tidy up around the edges just to make them feather in a little bit. Just being a bit careful, looking for any sharp edges that might be there. I swap layers, I can turn that layer off so I know which one I'm working on. I need to make sure I've clicked the layer mask there, so I'm working on that layer. Just work carefully around it, just to get rid of those sharp edges, and then you can see that once I'm happy with that. So note here where you can see the disjoint in the handrail. That's just because the layers haven't been aligned properly when they're being taken on the tripod, and there's just been a little bit of a mismatch there. So I'm just neatening up this edge, making it really feathered, and you can see on the step just there in the middle that there's another disjoint, and there. But I can fix that later. I could do it to start with, but I wanted to show you the disjoint to see what effect we can apply and what fix we can apply in Photoshop. So that's that one done. I can switch the other layers back on. I'm going to fix this disjoint in the slight movement of the layers, see there and there. So what I need to do is I need to temporarily hide the masks from the layers so the Photoshop can work with all the layers, and I use shift click on the masks to hide them, and then I go into the edit menu and then I choose auto align layers, just choose auto, click OK, and Photoshop will do its magic after a few seconds. It's aligned the layers, and now if I re-show the layers you can see that those disjoints have gone. Because the layers have been shifted, you can see that there's a bit of transparency over on the edges of the image. There's one on the right and here's one on the left, but that doesn't matter, we're going to crop it out in Lightroom. So I need to throw this back into Lightroom. All I do is File, Close. Photoshop will ask me if I want to save it automatically. Obviously I click yes. Now because it's a PSD file and it's got lots of layers, it'll take just a few seconds to write out. Then I go back to Lightroom and hey presto, the photo is there. So now I can use the crop tool, which is R shortcut on the keyboard. And what I'm going to do now is drag the edges in just to get rid of those little borders, and hit enter or double click the mouse, and you can see that that's it done.